To make a delicious beef bourguignon, you're going to need these ingredients here, and we're going to slow cook this. A long slow cook on this dish is the best way, in my opinion, to do it. So I have got over here some red wine. Anything you would drink and that you're happy with, go with that. We've got a little bit of soy sauce. There's not a lot in it. We've got also some tomato passata. Any sort of tomato sauce or tomatoes, tinned tomatoes is good. We've got our diced up beef. I've also got some beef stock. I've got thyme, garlic. You can use fresh garlic or like a garlic paste, whatever you want to use. I have already cooked my bacon here because I like my bacon nice and crispy and I like to render down the fat. So I'm using that already cooked. So you can do that on sear and saute in your Ninja Foodi really easily. I have then got carrots, I've got mushrooms, I've got baby potatoes, and then I've got a sprig of rosemary. Of course, if you haven't got fresh rosemary, you could go and use some dried rosemary, or if you haven't got either of those, some mixed herbs will do the job. But you do want the herbs in there because it really does give a much nicer flavour to this dish. So that is everything you're going to need, and it is really simple. Right, so let's place my bag here so you can see. I've got everything prepared. Let's start off by putting in our beef. I've got 400 grams, so straight in the bag there. Beef. And then to that, we're going to add our mushrooms, and I've sliced up the mushrooms. And remember, these mushrooms look like a lot, but you know they're going to melt down. Everything's going to kind of cook and reduce a little bit. So mushrooms in. Then we've got baby potatoes. So the quantities are 400 grams of beef. I've got 175 grams of mushrooms. These are baby potatoes. I've halved the smaller ones, quartered the big ones, or third, put them into thirds, just so that they're kind of nice sized pieces that we know that are going to cook down in the slow cooker. 225 grams of those. And then I've got carrots. I've got 2 carrots, and I've just diced those so they can go straight in the bag. Make sure that if you've cooked your bacon that has cooled. And then sprig of rosemary. I'm just going to break that in half so it just fits in there a little better. So I've got beef stock in here, and let's put the rest of our ingredients, our liquid ingredients, into here and mix it all together. So we want around 50 mils of the tomato sauce, passata, whatever you want to use. That's gone into the stock. The stock quantity is 150 ml, and I've used beef stock because it makes sense and it's going to give us lots of meaty, deep flavour. And then red wine, we want around 80 mils. Let's just add that in as well. And then let's top that up with 20 mils of soy sauce. So I'm using dried thyme, and I want around a teaspoon of that. Whoa, that's a little bit much. Around a teaspoon. You want the equivalent of around like a garlic clove, I would say. Look at that, lovely garlic paste. So let's get that in the bag with everything else. Give our ingredients a little mix, the wet ingredients, I should say, and we can simply pour that in the bag. Because we just want these dump bags to be completely ready to go, don't we? Oh my goodness, that looks, and I can tell you it's smelling pretty good. Now in with the crispy bacon, and look, there's some bacon fat in the bottom there. Make sure that you use all of that and get that in, because it's all really great flavour in this dish. And that is so simple to create. Let's just seal the top up like that. Make sure we don't get any spillages. You can obviously give this a good mix if you wish to. But you don't really need to, because when that goes into the slow cooker, that's going to, you know, all be stirred together and then cooked for a really long time in the Ninja Foodi. That looks great. That is now ready for my freezer. I took the beef bourguignon out of the freezer, and that has been defrosting in my fridge overnight. So now we can get ready to tip that in, and that is the beauty of this dump bag. So just pour all of that ingredients straight in to your slow cooker. Let's give that a little stir in there just to break everything up. And this is now going to go on to slow cook. Now you've got the option of cooking this on low or on high. I'm probably going to leave mine for another sort of half hour before I put it on, just because I've got a few bits of meat here which are still slightly frozen. So I'm just going to leave that and then we will put it on. So if you're going to go on low, I would suggest like 8 hours is going to be good. So you can literally leave this all day when you're at work, and that is the beauty of this. Of course, if you want to put it on high and cook it for less time, you can do that.
Thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here to Susannah's Kitchen.